preparing the players throughout the season, not just if it's going to be a release, but if it's going to be a retain as well, and what that might mean, because clubs shouldn't just expect that they're going to re-sign, and that's another thing that we shouldn't take for granted as football clubs, is that the child is actually happy and enjoying their time there, and the parents think it's a good enough service that they're getting. Because if they're getting retained, there's probably a good chance that there's other clubs that think they're quite good as well. So, you have to have that in your mind as well. But I think Chris does it extremely well in terms of regular workshops to really prepare the parents, and then the process when that decision's made, in terms of how it's done, in terms of a phone call, and there shouldn't be any surprises, and they generally, from what I was aware, it wasn't. And I always think if there's a surprise, then something's gone wrong in the communication, and that doesn't mean that you have to keep constantly planting little seeds, because then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. They end up failing because you kept planting that seed and you maybe made your judgment too early. And I've seen that done before as well. But I think if a parent comes up to me, for example, and says, "How's he doing or she doing?" and they're not making the progress that they need to, then I think I've always tried to be honest in a very respectful way and say, look, if at this moment in time, this is what is taking place. We would like to see X, Y, and Z by this time frame. Otherwise, but we will speak before then anyway. And if you can reinforce certain things at home, and because again, that this is where winning can be dangerous, because if the group's winning all the time, sometimes the individual isn't winning because the individual might not be developing, and the parent might think they're doing well because the team are winning or the group are winning, but actually you want to see more, because that unless they can do more, it's going to come to an end at some point anyway. So I think just honest and open conversations, giving the parents the option in terms of who tells the child, and then how that news is delivered as well. And then the exit strategies, again, I have to hold my hands up to Chris, because the way the amount of phone calls I used to get from him in terms of, we need a paragraph from you for this, and we need video clips of that, and to the extent where clubs have now obviously got a lot of analysts in place, and what you try and do, the analysts, is even prime them and say, look, as the season goes, can we have video montages of all the players? Ideally, they'll all stay, and we've got that as in our library to show the next generation, or to use as best practice to show the others, or to build that player's competence and confidence when required. But also, unfortunately, you might need that as well to pass on to other clubs in order to help showcase them in the best light as well. So, the planning process is really important. And, I think as long as the expectations should be put in place from day one, that there's no guarantees, in this industry for any of us. There's no guarantees for us coaches, for whoever it might be. It's that type of industry that we all choose to go into. No one makes the parents sign that bit of paper, or at least I hope they don't. So if they've done it off their choice, and the key for me is that they're not living, the child isn't living the sort of parent's dream for them, that it's got to be the child that wants to be there. And ultimately the most important thing is their happiness. And if it is a release, it's not the end, because we've all got them wrong. And we've all everyone has a different pathway.